Do you have a pair of boots that need a reboot? I've had this pair of boots for a while, and you can see they've seen better days. Anyone that's a painter knows that sometimes you get paint splatters on your shoes. So that's what's happened here, but I'm certainly not going to throw them away. I want to keep the soles black and also the zipper, so I'm doing a lot of taping off. So this will be well worth it. I'm using Dixie Belle's French linen. I didn't do anything to prep them. I didn't use bonding boss or slick stick or anything. The paint is chalky, and I think that the boots are beat up enough that they're not exactly slick. So I don't really feel like I'm going to have any problem with this paint bonding to the boots. So this is the second in my series of member-only content. So this is special just for you. And I also wanted to tell you that I'm doing a class at my store, well, in the community room in the mall where we're at. And I also am promoting it on a local TV station. So I am preparing this as a sample for it. So I'm going to use the Griselle Toile, if I'm saying that right, paint inlay. I decided to go with paint inlays rather than transfers because I've used transfers on purses before and it does end up wearing off. But I did a paint inlay on a leather purse and it stood the test of time. So I feel this is going to be a good solution for these boots. And so either way, I mean, you don't have to wear them out in the weather, but I am going to waterproof them. But right now I'm just selecting what parts of the design that I want to go where. So I'm just cutting it apart, and I also label it. At first I started cutting them, and then I realized if I don't label them as to which area I want them to go, then I'm just going to have a bunch of things and not have much of a design. So after I cut this second one, then I get that idea to start labeling them. And I just kind of do like RTZ for right top zipper. So I know that's the side with the zipper. And it's to the right of the zipper, and it goes up at the top. So those were just my little ways that I identified them. So the one thing I will caution you if you do that, so when you use paint inlays, there's a paint side, and then there's the just plain paper side. Write on the paper side, because if you write on the paint side, it transferred right into my paint. So no big deal. I just touched it up with some paint, but just a little word of caution there. So I wish I could do content for you guys exclusive every week, but I will say the first one that I did, I only had one view. So I'm only putting it out there to 5 people. So I'm really hoping to grow our membership so that we have more than 5 people to promote it to, but I really want to provide this content for you guys. So if you want to see more, then let's have everybody watching, and then hopefully our channel is going to grow as well. So I continue to just piece these little pieces and identify them. And I've only put one coat of paint on here so far, and if you've ever used paint inlays, then you know that you do a coat, and then you do another coat. While it's wet, you lay the paint inlay in. So that's what I'm going to do here, but I'm only going to work in a section at a time so that my paint stays wet. If I paint the whole boot, first of all, it's going to be awkward, and second of all, the areas will dry too fast. So I'm just working in this one area and making sure that I have good coverage. And while my paint is still wet, I'm going to put my paint inlay in. These straps are kind of awkward too, and in my way. I end up actually kind of taping them back to get them out of my way. But that's how I'm kind of rolling with this. So remember when you use the paint inlay to put the paint side down. So feel it first. I used a little mist, just a mist of water, and I sprayed the inlay. That really helps it to adhere. As you use paint inlays, you kind of learn little tricks along the way, and that's one of them. Just a little spritz, and it really starts to activate that paint that's on the inlay, and then helps it to bond better. And then the other thing is to smooth it out and then use a damp cloth. So I just kind of misted a paper towel, and I'm just using it to just go over the design. Now you want to be careful if you're doing this, because sometimes you can get paint on your rag, and then you end up kind of painting the edges of your paper, and that makes it more difficult to remove. So just keep that in mind. For the sake of my demo on the TV show, I'm doing everything on one boot except the toe part. So when I do the show, I'll show them a boot that is plain, and then I'll show them how to paint it, and then I'll add the second coat on the toe of this one. It's always a challenge to try to come up with that plan so that you do it all right. For the class, it's not going to be any big deal, because I'll just be showing everybody the whole way along. I'll just guide them step by step. I wish you all could be in the neighborhood and stop by and join the class. If you hear screaming in the background, my store is now in a mall, and the play park is very close by, and there's a certain time of day when there's just screamy kids up there, so I guess they're getting all their energy out. Now it's time for the big reveal. This is the fun part. So you want to re-mist the inlays. That wets the paper so that it won't tear. Look at that. That came off pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with the results on that. And your paint's working well whenever you do this. And obviously your paint's not wearing off with the water. So it's all good. I'm kind of excited to wear these boots because they are my boots. After I was done removing my inlays, I decided there was one more spot that I wanted some more of the floral. So I came back in with that, and that's not a problem. Guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and thank you so much for watching this evening. I love you guys.